Go. All right, folks, we are super duper excited for this morning's RIP here on May 23rd, 2023. Ashley Khalid, partner at North American Senior Benefits. And I've got the honor of having and introducing Mr. Mud Bomber himself, Bobby Brabham, who's going to be hosting today's RIP. So, Bobby, what are you most excited about when it comes to the RIP today?
I just hopefully someone can take some nuggets and just help them in the field so that they can have the opportunity to be successful. That's the biggest thing, is for all of us to be successful.
Amen. You know, when I was actually looking at this as far as who was going to be talking for this week, the neat thing is that I realized I was looking at your stats. Okay. You don't sell a big game when it comes to what you say, but when it comes to your AP, when it comes to your results, you are like the straight up exception. You play at the level of being exceptional. And I'm really excited because 2 weeks ago, we talked about developing momentum, a lot of that mindset. But today I really wanted to dive in and really look at the tangibles that create for exceptional success, the tangibles that create the results that everybody wants. Because if you look at Bobby, what he does is he does anywhere from about, oh my gosh, I can't remember the last time you had a 3,000 AP week, Bobby. I really can't. It's been anywhere from playing at a level of 4,000 minimum to 8,000 is normally the goal there. And that's the level that you play at. And you're a regional sales manager. So you obviously have a team of about 10 to 12 agents currently that you're juggling and working with. And you're still also playing at a high level when it comes to your AP. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about the first slide here so I can go ahead and get this going.
Okay. So just refining my routine. So what that is, time in the field is money. So I want to make sure that I'm in the field, and whenever I'm in the field, I'm not detoured. I'm not, I'm going to my leads, knocking on my doors. I'm not having those distractions. That's going to keep me from making money. So Sunday night, usually I am setting up my goal for the week. I am mapping out. I'm purchasing 20 to 30 new leads the beginning of the week. So, and it doesn't mean that I'm getting 30 leads at one time. I'm just making sure that I've got at least 20 to 30 fresh leads. So whenever I'm in that area, I can work those leads and just not backtrack, on the old leads and get caught up in that distraction of going to the same lead 7 or 8 times and getting the same result. They aren't there. Or so I want to make sure that I've got plenty of leads. So whenever I'm out there, I'm busy. And I like to stay in one area. I like to, during that day, usually I'll drive an hour and a half away. I like to be further away from the house, so it does not tempt me to get back home, quicker. So that's just something that if I am close to home, I tend to want to get back home sooner. So I just make that a point to stay out further. So whenever I am out there, I want to minimize the distractions. And so that's pretty much it on as far as getting my work week ready. I talk with Pam. I'll let her know, hey, Pam, I'm going to be out a little bit later today on this day. So if you can take care of this and this, so I don't have to worry about that distraction. And let's see.
Let me pop in here, Bobby. So let me go ahead and say this, okay? So your mindset, when we're talking about pretty much when you're looking at developing this exceptional, I guess you could say the exceptional results, we're looking at the tangibles, you guys. So it first starts with refining your routine. Second is internalizing the investments that you're actually giving. And then, of course, the third one is pruning your mindset. So what we're on right now is refining your routine. So the neat thing is catch these things, read between the lines here, you guys. He is actually ordering 20 to 30 leads. And if that is what he goes through the next day, he will order about 3 to 4 times a week in leads. Now, we're going to talk about the investment here shortly, but the neat thing, you guys, is that he stays in one area per day, and that area is going to be different every single day. So also when you're looking at this, he's minimizing those distractions. So he's literally going out an hour to 2 hours every single day, every single day. So he also is a manager. So I asked him about in and ups and about, managing that team. He said, Ashley, I'll take in and ups all day long in a home. He was like, I love it because it gives me credibility with my seniors. How awesome is that? So what he's doing is he's maximizing his time out on the field while also being in the field, but also being present with his team. How awesome is that? So I just love the fact that this is really cool. I love this next line because it's the weekly mindset strategy. You have a goal, you map it out, and you say, okay, this is my goal for the week. And then this is my strategy, though, is that you are open for detours. You're open for detours. And I love that. So if you already anticipate that there's going to be detours ahead, talk to us a little bit about some of those detours and how you're quick to discern that when an opportunity is given to you, which is what? What are the biggest opportunities in your work week?
Mine is referrals. So that's opportunities that happen weekly for me. And I set it up so that, whenever I hope I'm not skipping into our next segment, but I like those detours. So I'll have, Miss Johnson, who I spent, 2 hours in the home with, or 2.5. I don't count the time, that I'm in there with them. So I'm not looking at my clock, but and I'm just educating, and then that relationship that I'm building with that person at that time, that's where I get, so many referrals from, because I'm genuine whenever I'm with them. I want to make sure that I'm educating as far as, the living benefits and right into the life insurance. So that's, still part of that education. But because of that, because I do that, I get a lot of referrals from those people that I meet with. Mm-hmm. And so Miss Johnson will say, hey, Bobby, I need you to go see my sister. She's, a town over, and I've already got my map out, so you've got to be able to be quick to detour. And it's all right, Miss Johnson, is she ready for me to come see her? Yeah, she's waiting for you. So, there you go. And then after that, you're having to think of where you're going to go next, because now you're kind of out of the area that you've already mapped. So that's why I like to have those 30 fresh leads, 20 to 30. So whenever I'm out of the area, I've got some more sitting over here ready for me.
Absolutely. And I apologize. We're having just a little bit of technology challenges. So pretty much what you're saying is the detours equals deposits. And some of those detours are going to be referrals. That's why you've got to be open that when an opportunity does come on your plate, you've got to be quick to discern. You guys say, okay, this detour isn't a distraction, because a distraction will what? Lead to disaster. Right? So for example, like, oh, maybe somebody calls you and says, oh, I need you to go pick up groceries. Oh, I don't like it when you'd work so far away. But what they don't understand is that it's putting money in the family's account. Right? And that's exactly what you're doing. What you said too is also more appointments, especially these referrals, more appointments equals less risk, which means that you're not playing at random every single day, every single week. You should have somewhat of an idea of, okay, I've got my first appointment at 10. And you know what? I want to end my day with an appointment so I stay out. Okay. And let's talk about that too when it comes to, anything else that you want to wrap up with refining your routine.
So appointments, I do set up a lot of appointments for the week, and that's part of my mapping system for Sunday. A lot of times, I will get to a home and they just aren't there, or they forgot about it, because I'll make an appointment on Thursday, try to call them on Sunday to remind them, and you don't get the answer. So you still go though. And so whenever you get there, you have to have a strategy for go ahead and plan that they aren't going to be there, so you aren't distracted or frustrated, so you don't continue. So that's why I make sure that I've got enough leads to be able to carry over from that missed appointment.
Absolutely. And when it comes to internalizing your investment, so let's talk about that second point. When it comes to internalizing your investment, of course, we understand that to become exceptional, to have those exceptional results, we want to refine our routine. What are the daily habits that we're doing every single day? And then also, what about the investment, right? Some people might think of investment as risk. Okay. Also, investment can be seen as struggle. So what are some of these internalizing of investments are we going to be talking about, Bobby?
So gas. So these investments, your gas, your relationships, the lead costs, all of these things, time in a home. You having problems with
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. All of these things I just don't worry about. I don't worry about how much gas I'm spending during the week, because I know by me going to see these clients that I'm going to get an investment back from me putting that gas in my gas tank. Same with the leads. So, I really just don't worry about what the cost is. I don't complain about, having to fill my gas tank up again. I don't complain about having the oil changed or anything like that, because I know it's an investment in my business, and you have to have an investment in order to have a return. So that's my mindset.
Yeah. And so when you're also looking at, for example, if you're doing, and we looked at, the leads that you physically bought, right? And I said, okay, you did over 6,400 AP last week and protected those lives. I said, Bobby, how much did you spend last week when it came to your leads? And I was like, give me the average of what you normally spend every single week. He said, Ashley, I will buy about 3 to 4 batches per week. And it could be at random. So in other words, it could be, Ashley, what I'm on right now is the bronze and silver check leads. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, bronze and silver check leads. So I'm just going to turn off this PowerPoint here.
Sure.
And so when we're looking at this, I was looking at the stats on this. Ready? You spent $303 last week on your leads. Now, if I look at this and you bought $3 bronze check leads, which you absolutely love, you yielded a return of 6,470 in AP. And if anybody is on this call, and let's say, Bobby, he's a regional sales manager, so he has a higher commission bracket. But if you are at just starting out with NASB and you're at a 70%, let's say, so you are going to yield $3,396 in deposits for last week's production. That's amazing. That's $3,396, and your raw material investment was $303. Okay, so let's go ahead and times this out, shall we? So if you times it out in a 4-week period, you would have made $13,587 if you kept that same production. And what? $1,200 in lead cost to make over $13,000? Guys, girls, this is what we're talking about, is being wise, being smart, not being a lead snob, but realizing the time that you are physically putting out there on the field. But also, which I love this, is, and I think this is just brilliant when you said this the other day, Bobby, to me, you said the front end investment of time with an NASB lead is less than the back end return on investment when it comes to referrals. I will repeat that. The front end investment of time spent with an NASB lead, okay, pales in comparison to the back end return on investment that a referral can give you, that lead can give you. In other words, it's almost like planting a seed, and then what happens? You reap this amazing bounty, right? So that's what we're talking about here is you got to look at a lead differently. You have to look at your time, your routine, your investment differently. He's not complaining that, oh, I got to go drive and take, $20 in gas to go drive all the way over here, an hour and a half away. No, he's grateful that he gets to do that. He's grateful for a $3 bronze check lead that somebody maybe got last year, that somebody maybe got the year before that maybe somebody got the year before that, right? He's grateful for that. So let's keep talking about that when it comes to investment.
So, well, part of that also is whenever I'm training, I also want my downline to know how to use those check leads, because check leads at one time were very intimidating for a lot of people. So that investment for them to be able to sell a check lead is awesome, because if you can sell a check lead, you can sell any type of lead, to get over that fear of the check lead. So the investment isn't just for myself, but it's also for my team to be able to use as well, so that they can be prosperous. But with I'm sorry, Ashley, I got sidetracked on my train of thought.
Great. So, it's just pretty much saying that, hey, look, if you're out there and you're an agent, do what you think is probably hard. Some people think that a bronze check lead is really, really difficult. When you're saying, hey, this is the best thing ever to introduce a brand new agent to, because if they can conquer a check lead, they can conquer any type of check lead, right? Or any type of lead with NASB. And I love what you said about knowledge is contagious to your new client. Talk about the value there when it comes to your knowledge there when it comes to an investment.
Sure. So I do take my time whenever I'm in the home with the client. I want to educate, and that really helps with my transition from living benefits to life insurance. So I'm just continuing that education part. I'm taking my time to do that. Sometimes I'll be in the house for 2.5 hours, but I'm not looking at my watch, because I don't have whenever I'm with that client, I want to be with that client. And it doesn't necessarily matter how many presentations I get in a day. I always shoot for 3 or 4, but if I don't get that, that's okay, because I know that the knowledge that I give that client is going to reap benefits for me later down the line, by referrals.
Amen. You know what? It's almost like the focus should be on the value of the presentation, not just the count of presentations you have in a work day. That value that you're giving. I love what Jordan said, or maybe it was on the Goalcast today. I can't remember. But it was just about the fact of earning your earning capability. In other words, like increasing your earning capabilities. You should be doing that every single day, increasing and maximizing, building up that capacity, building up that tolerance level as an agent, as a leader. And the reason being is because what's the value that you're bringing to somebody. When you see a Laura Cisco, when you see a Charles Ussery, when you see the folks in this, I guess you could say the folks that have this incredible mindset that they can step into home and it's like, bam, it's like they live for what's about to come off of your mouth. You can do that and increase that the capacity of your earning capabilities. So let's go to the last point, which is pruning your mindset. So why is this so important? I know that when I asked you about, hey, look, what makes you exceptional, Bobby? Like you're a regional sales manager, you're crushing it out there on the field consistently, not just 1 week doing 10,000, next week doing nothing. You are consistent. And so when it comes to that, you said, Ashley, a lot of it has to do with your mindset. And I said, tell me the tangibles though of your mindset. So let's go there.
Okay. So, a lot of people can get really frustrated whenever you make an appointment, no one's there, and it can really just take you out of your rhythm, your momentum, and so I just focus on having a very short memory. So I knock on the door, no one's there. It's okay, I'm starting all over. Go to the next house. I'm not thinking about how many doors I've knocked on that no one's there. I'm just, if no one's there, then I'm starting all over again, and until I get to that person. So I've got that mindset that, my job is to see Miss Johnson, and I'm going to find her, and I'm going to keep going until I do. I'm not going to let distractions interfere. I'm not going to pull over at the grocery store in the parking lot and look on Facebook, or do some type of social media thing, because that's just a huge distraction that's taking away money from my family. And so I've just got that mindset that, I'm just going to keep going until I get that presentation. I just need to get in the house. That's really all I feel like is, if I can get someone home, that's all I need. Whether or not they push me away from the door, at least I've made that contact, and now I'm going to go to the next one until I get in the door. If I get in the door, I feel like I'm going to close the sale, whether or not I actually close it or not.
Absolutely. I think what makes the exception can also destroy the exception. What does that mean? For some of you folks that are trying to be exceptional and doing these tangible things that Bobby is telling you that he has this secret sauce in his work week, but what he's really trying to say is that being the exception and also having that to be exceptional, understand that it has everything to do with your mindset, has everything to do with your perspective, how you see this thing. It's not the life that you've been given. It's the life that you focus on, that you want. That's what matters, right? Not the life that's been given to you. It's the life that you want to focus on that should matter to you. But just a couple of takeaway points here, guys, because I love what Bobby said to me the other day. He said, listen, Ashley, if the results aren't there, and also but the activity is, so the results aren't there. Everybody's been there where you feel like you don't see the progress, you don't see the results, the money's not in the bank account right from the deposits, and you're like, I feel like I'm doing all the work, but here's the ticket. With Bobby, he says, Ashley, I always trust the system. I always trust in the numbers. I've always trusted the system, because the system will always deliver, because it's a numbers game. He's like, so what do I have to fear? What do I have to worry about? Why would I have anxiety? Because all I do is just follow the system, because the system will always produce. And I love this too. This is awesome. If the lack of results throws you off mentally, then the activity physically that you are plugging in won't matter. I'll repeat that. If the lack of results throws you off mentally, then the activity physically that you're plugging in, it won't matter. It won't matter, because what matters the most is how you see this thing. The moment you walk off those steps because a senior's not home and you're saying to yourself, I just spent $25 for that lead. I just spent $31. I just spent $8. I just spent $3. And that person's not home. Woe is me. My life sucks. This always happens to me. Maybe you're that agent that says that. When Bobby's trying to teach you and he's trying to say, listen, stop it. Throw that downloaded material out of your brain and walk off those steps and saying to yourself, heck yes, because that's going to lead me closer to a yes. I know the numbers. I know the return on investment. I know that for every dollar I spend on a lead with NASB, I'm going to make back a $10.61 return on investment. And that's for every single no I am making money. Thank you for putting money into my family's generational legacy wealth. That's what he's trying to tell you, is that no really is a deposit in your bank account. So Bobby, any ending words on this rip for Tuesday?
I do know that I do better whenever it's one-on-one. So you repeating the things that I did say to you, I was like, daggum, how come I wasn't thinking about that again? So if I were to give any advice, is actually just to have that mindset that it doesn't matter on the nose. It doesn't matter if anyone's not home. Your mindset should be just to keep going. I know it does get frustrating sometimes. You'll get that little negative on your shoulder saying, today is not my day. I'm going to go home early. I've got a headache. You just have to push that stuff out of your mind, because your family is depending on you and you want to be successful. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So if you want to be here, then work, get out and don't let those distractions slow you down, frustrate you to go home early. You just go out there and make your money and make a friend.
That's right. And this is our ending quote. I heard this from Tony Robbins earlier today. He said this: are you looking at the misfortune of your events, or are you looking at the fortune of your capabilities? I'll repeat that. Thanks, Tony Robbins, for this one. Are you looking at the misfortune of your events or the fortune of your capabilities? Folks, let's make it a great day. RIP is now under session and is now going. Guys, let's make it a great day. Great job, Bobby. Let's go.